Bankers wants to control your business. Most people think about this. But the truth is, bankers don't want to be a boss. They want to be repaid. And that's the difference. Explain why the debt is a weapon of their choice and why the equity is the last resort. So this is the one thing. What if I told you that the bankers actually prefer lending your money or the owning the part of your business? Would you believe me? Like today I'll break down why debt is the banker's best friend and why equity scares them. What that means for the entrepreneurs like you. So let's discuss. So you walk into the bank with a big ideas. You imagine they bought a piece of information of your company, a seat on your board, maybe even the decision-making power. But that's not how the banks work. Bank don't want ownership; they want assurance, and the debt give them the predictability. Interest payments are fixed due to a time, no matters how a business is doing. Equity gives them the uncertainty. Equity is your success, and the success comes with a business. So that's the one thing. And the bankers are not the gamblers. Like banks are in the business of stability, not in the business of dreaming. And that's a legal proof. Legal framework like debt is protected by law. If a business goes bankrupt, debt holders get paid first, and equity holders they might get nothing. And that's the one thing. Return expectations, a banker's lending rate is a 8% interest rate is happy as long as you pay. Equity investors expect 10x returns because they are taking biggest risk of the nations. So that's the one thing. Control with the debt. Bankers doesn't interfere with how you run your business. With the equity, an investor may demand board seats, veto rights, or even the CEO replacements. That's the one thing. Numbers don't lie. Debt offers the bank safety, steady income, and the legal priority. Equity offers them a headache. So that's one thing. Example, let's take a real world example. Company A borrows of 1 million at the 8% interest rate. Over the 5 years, the bank earns steady returns of the 400k, no matter whether the company A grow faster or slow. The banks get paid first. Let's take the example of company B that raises the 1 million in the equity and the investors take 20% of the business if the company B succeeds. So investor make the millions, but if it fails, investor lose everything. And which you prefer? Like the predictable paycheck of the company A, not the uncertain lottery tickets of the company B. That's the one thing. So next time you think about why the banks push loan and avoid the equities, remember this: debt makes them richer safely, equity makes them nervous, and as an entrepreneur, understanding that can help you decide whether when to borrow and when to give away the ownership. That's a game of the equity, and that's a game of the debt as well. Like how the master class of these things going forward work on the different perspective of business, and this is how the business things work. Like for the different market and different philosophy of the world. So in the iBankers, we generally had the startups and the business owners to get the funding for the business. Apart from that, to get the money on the basis of different priorities, and we also help you to grow your business. So let's connect if you are looking for a growth for a startup and want to be next unicorn in the world. Let's meet.